Welcome to Our Darlingtown, the podcast where we explore the heart and soul of Darlington through its local independent businesses and the people that make it special. I'm James Carver.
I'm Henry Carver, and we're here to shine a spotlight on our beloved town. Join us as we sit down with the passionate local people to delve into their stories and uncover the unique contributions they make to our community and to find out about the town where we live.
Get ready to be inspired by the people and stories that make Darlington truly special. I'm sure we had a competition when we did it.
That's right.
I think you won by cheating because you just
Absolutely not.
He emptied a normal bin in his bin bag.
I would never.
We have found a wig.
Yeah.
We have found one of those machines that the bus drivers use to put the change in.
Oh, right,
We found one of those. Boxing gloves, laptops, shoes, just all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And one of our volunteers knows somebody who runs a school in Kenya. So nothing goes to waste. We don't throw anything away. So all of the old logoed for stuff goes to Kenya.
Today, we're delighted to be joined by Chelsea Johnson, the Programme Officer at Darlington Cares. Chelsea works across a range of community and volunteering initiatives in the town, with Darlington Uniform Exchange being just one part of the wider support that Darlington Care can provide to local families and organisations. A lot to cover today. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. Where to begin? Darlington Cares, tell us a bit about that and how you got involved.
So thank you for having me. So Darlington Cares has actually been going since 2012. I think it was about October time. And it was basically an initiative between Cummins and Darlington Borough Council. Their kind of plant manager had come to the chief exec of the council and said, we do loads of different volunteering in Darlington, but we want to know that we are making an impact and we are making a difference, because at the minute it's kind of like ad hoc here and there. So the chief exec came to my current boss and said, do something about it, have a look, see what kind of we can do. So he had a look around and he actually stole the Prince's Trust model. It was a Cares model, and there was quite a few around the country. I think there's only about 3 now. Cares models still around, and we're one of them. And Darlington Cares was created. And I think in 2012, I think they did something like 40 hours worth of volunteering. And last year we did over 10,000 hours worth of volunteering. At our height in 2019, we actually did 15,000 hours worth of volunteering, which is just incredible. And we do lots of volunteering projects around 3 core headings. Education is one of them, where we run a busy readers scheme, so volunteers go into schools and listen to the kids read, and that was one of the first projects that was established back in 2013. So it's been going now for nearly 13 years, which is just incredible. Environment, we do a whole host of things in the environment, from tree planting, hedgerow planting, painting parks, painting bridges, bulb planting, cutting back, path edging, anything in the environment.
Litter picking.
Yeah. We do lots of litter picking. And when I say to people, I've got litter picking to do, they're like, I don't really fancy that. And then when they actually do it, they come back and say, actually, I really enjoyed that. That was actually really good.
They get competitive, don't they?
Yeah.
They look at their peers or their colleagues or whatever, they're like, I'm going to fill my bag quicker, and I'm going to fill more bags.
I'm sure we had a competition when we did it.
That's right.
I think you won by cheating because you just
Absolutely not.
He emptied a normal bin in his bin bag.
I would never. I was in hedgerows, I was in bushes, I was all over the place, and I definitely.
And you find yourself, don't you? Like, where can I go? Where does it look like there's going to be the most litter?
Things that you find, as well, like, how on earth has this got in?
I mean, we have found a wig.
Yeah.
We have found one of those machines that the bus drivers use to put the change in.
Oh, right.
We found one of those. Boxing gloves, laptops, shoes, just all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But it can get very competitive. So we do a whole host of things out in the environment. And then we do lots of projects under social justice, community centres, food banks. We do things with the bread and butter thing. Yeah. The Uniform Exchange comes under social justice as well.
Yeah.
So we do a whole range of different things.
Fabulous. Great stuff.
And how do people get involved? Is it individuals? Is it businesses?
A little bit of both. So the Busy Readers, because it is kind of an ongoing commitment, so we ask for at least an hour every single week, normally the same day, same time every week in term time. We don't normally get a lot of people from businesses that are able to do that, but we do get a lot of people that are retired or work part-time or something like that. So a lot of those are individuals. A lot of them are kind of people that have retired from businesses of Darlington Cares, and they think, oh, you know, they've always thought, I'd love to do that, but I can't quite do it now that I work full time, and they've retired, and you know, it's something that they'd love to do. But a lot of kind of the tree planting and things like that, they are big teams from businesses. I mean, sometimes we get maybe 50, 60 volunteers from Cummins out, and they'll just kind of go somewhere en masse and just do all sorts.
Flash mob.
Yeah, they show up, and it's like, you know, they do a lot of work in Eastbourne Park, and I was there one day and I seen them all show up, and I was like, what's going on over here? What's going on there? And it was just all of these volunteers from Cummins, and they've walked to the park.
And are people sort of doing like an hour or two at a time, or is it a half day or a full day?
It depends. The environmental stuff, you know, you can go out litter picking for an hour, you can do it for a couple of hours. The tree planting and things like that, it's normally maybe like 3 to 4 hours. The food bank, you can do that for an hour, you can do it for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. It's really flexible depending on what your work schedule's like and where you are. So EE, they like to go out for a full day. Whereas other smaller companies, they can only really go out for like an hour or two at a time, which is fine.
Yeah. Fantastic. Uniform Exchange, Henry mentioned in his introduction.
Yes.
Tell us what that is, please.
So it started in 2020, and if you cast your mind back nearly 6 years, COVID time, it was unprecedented times, and we were kind of thinking, and it just kind of thought, uniform, all these schools are closed, and they have been closed for months now, and we thought, where's all the uniform going? Like, the kids have barely worn it, and we were thinking, where's it actually going? Like, is there something in Darlington? Is there a scheme that you can kind of give your uniform to? And we kind of had a little bit of a look around, and there was a church that had a uniform exchange in their church hall. It was open, I think it was like an hour, one day a month. So we contacted them, and it was run by 2 elderly people. And we said, you know, if we kind of promote it and things like that, are you able to open a little bit more? And they just said no, it was just not something they were able to do. They were, you know, elderly, they had health issues and things like that. So they said if we were wanting to do something, they would quite happily kind of close and give us their uniform that they already had, and they would help us out anyway, which was absolutely amazing. So the uniform exchange began. So we're a bit kind of, we don't know how this is going to go. Are people going to use it? Are we going to get uniform? Do people have uniform? I mean, I don't have kids, and I think if you don't have kids, you just school uniform's not even something that you think of. So I think, you know, do people have spare uniform? I don't really know. So I kind of popped something out on social media saying, you know, these are our drop-off points, come and drop uniform off. And we got quite a bit of uniform, and I thought, oh, this is amazing. And then we were thinking, what's the best way? You know, how are people going to get this uniform? And in the beginning, it was people went online and filled out a form of what uniform they wanted, and we kind of got it ready. And then they came to the shop and picked it up. So we popped that form out, and it just went crazy. It was like, wow, this is absolutely incredible. And it's just kind of grown from there. And we've moved to the model where it's run by volunteers. It's open 5 days a week, 10 till 1. And we are situated in Feetham's car park. And people just come to the window, let us know what they want, and if we've got it, they can have it. Last year, we gave out 12,000 items of school uniform, which is absolutely, it's incredible. And if you kind of go to the shop and kind of look at all of the uniform within the shop, and you just kind of think, where would this have ended up? Would it have ended up in landfill? Probably. And that's only the items that are in the shop. And you can just, if you think about 12,000 individual items of school uniform, would that have ended up in landfill? Probably,
So do people pay for them? Or
No, it's all free.
And do you have to come in to exchange something?
No.
Or you can come in, you don't have to bring anything
No.
in if the kids are starting school and they can't afford school uniform because it's bloody expensive.
It's very
And they grow out
expensive.
of it in about 6 months' time.
Yeah, I mean, so you can bring stuff in. You don't have to bring stuff in to get stuff. Everything's free. Everything's professionally cleaned as well by Inner Spin on North Road, the dry cleaners. They professionally clean everything. I mean, the Darlington Borough Council do obviously pay for the scheme. They provide the funding for the scheme to run, which is amazing, and we couldn't obviously do it without them. But yeah, I mean, as well, we get a lot of uniform that children can't wear anymore because it's got the old logo on, or it's the old colours or something like that. So a few years ago, Hummer's not actually changed their PE kit. They went from was it maroon and blue or something to a black. And we must have had maybe 100 bags of the old PE kit that they couldn't wear. And one of our volunteers knows somebody who runs a school in Kenya. So we shipped all of the old PE kit to Kenya, and I've got pictures of the kids in Kenya wearing. And he said they had that much that they give it to the next village and the next village and the next village. So that the whole area, all of the kids are running around in Hummer's Not PE kit. And there was another primary school as well. They were changing their logos, so they kind of had a collection for us, and we sent all of that as well to Kenya for the kids there, for the school. So nothing goes to waste. We don't throw anything away. So all of the old logoed for stuff goes to Kenya. If it's not kind of suitable for us to kind of give out, it goes to a clothing bank. And if we can give it out, it gets distributed.
Amazing. Yeah, I've seen the photographs. It's great. They've all got smiles on their faces in the purple jumpers and things.
Yeah. It's
lovely.
amazing because they do obviously sports, and there was no way to differentiate the teams. So they obviously have one team wearing their own clothes, and they have one team wearing the Hummer's Not stuff, which is incredible.
That's amazing. Tell us about the Darlington Community Awards. And
Stronger
Community Awards.
Stronger Communities Awards.
I'll let the caffeine sink in. And your role within that.
Yeah, so people might remember it as the Best of Darlington Awards.
Yeah, that's what I was getting mixed up.
Yeah, it's fine. And it's actually been going, has it been going for over 20 years, I think? So it was once at Darlington College, that's where it used to be, and then I think it just outgrew that, and we ended up doing it at the Dolphin Centre. And last year we had about 455 people attend, which is absolutely incredible. I think it was 456. I think if we're going to be exact. But yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Every single year, I'm astounded at how many nominations we get. You kind of think after 20 years, are we going to get?
Done everyone.
Yeah. That's always in the back of my mind. Every year when I kind of open the nominations, I think, are we going to get people nominating? Are we going to get different people as well being nominated? Because yes, people are doing absolutely amazing stuff, but we don't want the same people being nominated year after year. And it's always in the back of my mind, like, am I going to have to go and searching for people? And do you know what I mean? It's one of those things, and every year I'm astounded by how many new people are nominated. And it's not just kind of this person's been doing that for the last year. It's this person's been doing this for the last 20 years, for the last 30 years. And it is just absolutely incredible. Like, in my position, I think I kind of know a lot about Darlington and a lot about the community groups and people and things like that. And I actually don't. Yeah. I only know maybe 1% of what is going on in Darlington. It would astound you. Yeah. And obviously I'm very privileged to get to read every single nomination that comes through. And I think this year it was over 400.
So can you talk us through all of the nominations? I'm joking.
My memory's not that good.
Could you talk us through some of the categories?
Yes, so we have...
I know there's lots, so maybe not all of them.
Yes, there is lots. We kind of group them. So we have academic categories for students and also mature students as well, and apprentices. So it's not just kind of for, kids. We get adults as well winning the academic categories, which I love to see. We have business categories, so we've got business contribution to the community, where we recognise the great work that some businesses are doing in Darlington. And again, a lot of businesses don't promote what they are doing, and I always say to them, why aren't you telling people what you do? And they're like, oh no, we don't want to, we just do this. And I'm like, but I kind of feel that if you promote it, it makes other businesses think, oh well, we'd like to do something like that as well. And I keep telling them, and some of them are just like, no, we just want to kind of fly under the radar and do what we want to do. We have sports categories. And we've had some amazing winners in the past. We had an 80-odd-year-old man who still runs very, very quicker than I could ever think about running. I think by the time I got up off the couch, he could run like 5K or something incredible. We have... You've got me thinking now.
Do you remember who the winners were of some of the main category, the big prize, if you like?
Yes, so the Darlington Assistance for Refugees won the special award last year for the work that they do, or the work that they have done for many years with refugees. They're absolutely incredible. And go and look at what they do, go and get involved with them, because they are absolutely amazing. The work that they have done with Ukrainian refugees, with everybody, they are absolutely incredible. They help them with education, they help them get a job, they help them get a house, they help them with anything, with clothes and just everything. They're amazing.
Okay, fantastic. I'd not heard of them at all.
Go and look them up, they are incredible.
And you were saying there about you thought you knew Darlington before you started this role. We've sort of, got an idea of what you mean, probably not on the same scale because you're seeing a lot more people than we are. But since we've started doing this, we started this in 2023. We sort of thought we knew Darlington. We were trying to promote the town, thinking, obviously, we know the things that we're wanting to promote and the amazing things that Darlington has to offer. But until we started speaking to people, we had no clue. We had no clue, and we still have no clue. And it's great to hear that we're not alone.
I mean, I run Darlington Cares also runs the volunteer fair as well, which happens every February, and we normally get around 50-ish volunteer organisations there, and every single year there are new volunteer organisations there, and not just kind of that is set up in the past year, that has been going for 5 years, for 10 years, for 15 years. It's just absolutely incredible. And, eventually a volunteer organisation gets to the point where the person or the people that are kind of spearheading it get to that age where they just can't do it anymore. And that's normally when it kind of just falls apart, when there's nobody kind of really pushing it. So the volunteer fair is great for them to kind of get recognised. We get hundreds of people through the door.
Is that in the Dolphin Centre?
In the Dolphin Centre, yes, in Central Hall. And we get hundreds of people through the door. And every single year I've had volunteer organisations say to me, that was absolutely amazing. We've got a few really good volunteers from that fair. But that's also a great way, even if you don't want to volunteer, to come down and see what is going on in Darlington and what organisations there is out there.
And what date's that in February?
I can't remember.
Right, we'll edit this, we'll put it in.
It's on the 4th of February.
So that's obviously organising that will take a fair bit. What else have you got planned for the year ahead?
So I also run a group called DEEP, which is the Darlington Employers Environmental Partnership. It wasn't my choice for that name, but it's stuck, and I don't mind it as much now. At the beginning, I thought, I don't like Deep. I don't like that name, but I think I've said it that much that I think, it's okay now. And it's a group of businesses, and I think we're up to 52 now, which is also incredible. And we get together, we have network and learn sessions. Last year we had 4. and businesses come and we discuss net zero, sustainability, and it's normally kind of a bigger business will host it. So, for example, we went to Cummins last year, which was incredible, and they spoke about their kind of sustainability and their net zero goals and what they're doing. And I think their plan was something like 6 years in the making or something. It was absolutely incredible. And then they showed us around their shop floor. They spoke to us about their water-based paint, and they showed us the robots as well. And it was great. It was really good. Do you know what? I do look forward to doing those sessions because they're always really good. And it's basically just learning from other businesses and what they're doing. So we also went to Hopetown last year as well, and we had Wilmot Dixon in, and they spoke to us about how difficult it was working on a grade 2 listed building in terms of sustainability and net zero. They were saying it was kind of, people were saying, oh, should we do this? No, we can't do that because of that. Should we do this? No. And it was just constant kind of going around the houses, like, what can we do to that building to make it more sustainable, to make it kind of as close to net zero as possible, but to not kind of change anything about it because it's grade 2 listed. So that was incredible. And then we obviously got a tour around Hopetown, and they showed us the trains and things like that. That was amazing. And we also went to TICA.
Okay.
No, I can't remember what TICA stands for, but they are the trade body for apprentices in thermal insulation. Okay. And they are the only trade body for level 2 apprentices in the country. So they have apprentices coming down from Scotland, coming up from kind of the south to Darlington to do a level 2 apprenticeship in thermal insulation. And that was incredible as well. So they showed us, we had to play with a thermal camera around the pipes and stuff, and they spoke to us about how much money businesses can save by getting thermal insulation around their pipes and stuff. And then we spoke to the apprentices. You know, there was a 16-year-old boy, and he was from Scotland, who was down here by himself, which was just absolutely incredible. And you just seen all of kind of like the kids working and stuff. That was amazing. So we've been to some incredible places. We've been to Zig Up, which was Ready Northgate, the vehicle hire, and we got to drive their electric vehicles. We've been to some incredible places, but it's also very informative for smaller businesses who, you have a small business with maybe like 10 staff, and it's like, so your job has nothing to do with net zero sustainability, but we're going to tack it onto your job role. And they're like, I don't really know what I'm doing. So they come to the sessions and they learn from what other businesses are doing. And we also put them in touch with bigger businesses and for support. And we've had some great feedback from the smaller businesses as well.
I like the sound of your job. It sounds really good fun, doesn't it?
That's what everybody says. Everybody always says, oh, your job sounds really fun. And it is amazing what I do and what it allows me to do for Darlington as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No, it sounds very worthwhile. And at this sort of the start of the year, I think people are looking ahead for in business, their business plans, but also personally for their sort of, personal growth plans and New Year's resolutions and all that sort of stuff. If someone was thinking of volunteering, or either in their business or individually, what's the best way to get involved?
Give me an email. Chelsea.johnson@darlington.gov.uk.
Yeah, sounds great.
Simple as that.
Just simple as that.
Watch your inbox fill up. It will, I'm sure. Absolutely, no doubt at all. Listen, it's been a fantastic chat. I've no doubt we can continue. For many more minutes, hours, etc. I've done litter picking 3 times only. In the past, my New Year's resolution is to quadruple that, and hopefully, offer some other support elsewhere as well.
Well, if you want your own litter picker, And your own hoop, just let me know.
We invested as a family.
Well, you should be doing it more than if you've got your own.
We've got them all, and actually they're really good at getting things from behind the radiator. If you drop them behind the radiator at the office,
or top shelf,
absolutely. But yeah, genuinely, it's been a fantastic chat this morning. Thank you very much for your time, and yeah, look forward to your continued success with Darlington Cares.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Chelsea.